hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm excited to hop on today for my Thursday live, and I've got a fun card. It's one I had created for a demonstrator swap that I participate in. I'm going to go ahead and switch over the camera and get right to it. Thanks for joining me, and if you don't mind, kind of let me know in the comments where you're joining me from. And I'm going to scoot across here and get in my space. It's been still a warm season here in Arizona, and so it's kind of fun to think of things that are more fall related. I want to point out that my next free online class, which is much more in depth than my weekly lives, it does happen at the same time. The next one will be on October the 24th, and I know I had mentioned in my last class I wasn't sure if that'd be a pre-recorded. The answer is it will not be. It will be a live class. I also want to point out some of the specials that Stampin' Up's got going on right now. The first is that there's a starter kit special with an additional $30 in product for the same $99 kit price. One of the best deals in kits that Stampin' Up! Ever offers, and that goes through the end of October. And if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you get to pre-order from the new online exclusives. This is a sampling of one of them. A few other little ideas that are in this brochure. But if you are getting that starter kit, you can actually choose some of these as your kit products. And so it's something to think about. The other thing is that our kit special is going on. It's everything that's not Paper Pumpkin, up to 30% off, and it's what's there while supplies last. Great deals, and kits are certainly, they're a great travel, get to go places with it and share. The project I'm going to share is out of our mini catalog. I can share the pictures with you, and it's actually this Peaceful Evergreens stamp set. That's what I'm going to share from, and I'm making a non-Christmas card using it. So to kind of share that even though the products that are in this mini catalog are Christmas themed for the most part, or fall, there's so many other ways you can use them. And so I'm going to pull out my project. Kind of slow down a little bit. I tend to get going too fast. So this was the card I had designed. It was for a masculine themed swap. And I loved the fall colors, more masculine in my mind, themed colors, using, again, that Peaceful Evergreens stamp set. And I'm also going to be using the greeting from Simply Said. Simply Said is one of the sets that are in the front part of our annual catalog that have a lot of all occasion type stamps and greetings. So fun stuff. I'm going to pull out, this is a red rubber stamp, so a cling mount stamp. I'm going to pull out, I need a larger block, and I'm going to be using a number of these blocks. Grab here, and then I think I can get, so I'm only using the trees, I'm not using others. I can use just this D block. There we go. I'm going to set this out of the way. And I've got some, one of the things you're going to want, I've got my glass mat here because it's wonderful when you're watercoloring. You also want some paper towels handy. It helps with all the excess water you might find. This card has got simple supplies. I've got a half a sheet of Mossy Meadow. And then I've got a, I believe this one is, we've got a ruler right here. Yes, a little further over. This one's a 5 by 3 3/4 of wild wheat. I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside greeting. And then I've got a piece of our watercolor paper, our Fluid 100 watercolor paper that's 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to pull out, I'm going to get these things off to the side. And I'm going to start actually with this larger, let me put this kind of over out of the way. I'm going to start with my watercolor paper. There's different ways that you can choose to do watercolor on, like using a solid stamp. You could wet the paper first and then ink up and then stamp onto, or you can ink and then mist it with one of our Stampin' misters, which come in a set of 2, and that's the option I'm going to choose. And so, just so you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to start again with this larger of the stamps that are in this stamp set. I'm going to kind of grab some things and have them out of the way. One of the things I'm grabbing is the chamois that came with the glass mat, and to my knowledge this glass mat is still an item that's available in our online store. So I'm going to pull out the wild wheat. This little I don't know, it's a silicone mat that sits on top of the glass mat, is perfect for holding on to our pads. I really like that. So I'm going to ink up my wild wheat ink. Make sure I've got reasonable inking. Okay. Even though I'm not going to be stamping on all of this. All right. And then I'm going to take my mister and I'm going to set it off to the side just so I'm not spraying everything around here. And I'm going to spray it 2-3 times. You want, I'm going to pull it up here so you can kind of see where it starts to bead a little ways. And then I'm going to take and I want to put it, I don't want it quite centered. I want these at varying heights. So I'm going to stamp it, hold it, lift it off, and then I'm going to tap it onto my paper towels, clean up that stamp, and I want 1 or 2 more of those. I'm going to stick them, I think I may do, this one I may only do 1. I think I'll put it on the edge. So I'm going to do the same process again. I'm going to take my mister, stay about close to a foot. Get a little bit there, and then I want this one to be kind of up off the edge. And this is where that glass mat comes in handy because it's made a mess. I don't have to have extra squeakies here, but I don't have to have extra paper, and I'm not wasting paper. I kind of like that part. And the fact that this didn't ink as well here, we're going to cover up a lot of things, so it's going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp again. And then I'm going to grab that next skinnier tree. And I'm going to take it, we're going to put away wild wheat. And this time, I think I'm going to grab Mossy Meadow, which is the same color as that card base. So I'm going to use the smaller, skinnier tree. Ink up, make sure I'm getting a reasonable inking. And again, I'm going to mist it so that I cause that to move around a little more. And then I may come just a little bit lower. I don't want everything to be at the same height. No 2 of these will look the same. I made quite a number of them for the swap I was participating in, and although they all look similar, none of them were the same. So I'm going to press off the excess, and I'm going to do this again. Okay, I've got a good inking. Again, I'm going to take that mister, get a little more water, let it set on there, and then I'm going to come, I think I want to come on this side. And again, I think I may just come a little lower, and I may overlap. It's another option I've got. hold it because that allows it to kind of get into that watercolor paper. Okay, and a couple things I want to make sure I don't have it so it's not making a mess everywhere. Okay, then I'm going to come in with some copper clay. It was a nice fall kind of look for me. Put this over here, get out of the way. So I'm going to open up copper clay. Same process. I'm going to ink it up. Make sure that I've got good coverage. I will mist it again, close to a foot away from the spray head. And then on this one, I think I want to come higher. Maybe something like that. There we go. I'll clean that up, and I'm going to do one that's smaller. Well, maybe not. I think I know what I'm going to do. Put one more along that other edge. This one will come bleeding over. But I want just the edge of it. So there we go. Clean it up over here. Again, the beauty of the glass mat that you can just wipe that up. So put away this stamp pad, and then I've got some pebbled path. I want to pull out pebbled path. And let's see, get this cleaned. I'm not going to be using this one. I want to use the tinier of the trees. Again, I'm going to mist it up. And then I want to kind of put some in between. So let's pull this one down. Again, hold it. And I'm going to tap off the excess on my paper towel. Ink it up. I think we'll just do one more time. This kind of, I liked how it kind of looked like they were in between. So I'm going to come in maybe here. Hold it for a second and then pull it off. And so it kind of just gives you that 3D kind of look. Okay, so I'm going to clean up my mat. Clean up my stamp. It's a good idea to keep your stamps clean. That is it for the watercoloring. So then it would dry, and it dries really pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and start layering my card. I do have one little piece of stamping I'm going to do, but not quite. So pull out my Stampin' seal. Get a good amount of adhesive on the back. Those little misters are one of the hidden gems in our Stampin' Up website and in our catalog. But definitely useful when you are doing watercolor. Slide this up just a teeny bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to fold my card in half. And then what I did is I took some scrap pieces of wild wheat and of pebbled path. I'm going to grab out my silicone sheet, which is a great way to kind of keep adhesive from getting everywhere. You could choose to put adhesive sheet on the back of your cardstock strips. But what I did is I ran through two of the silhouette tree images. Let me see them better if I lay them here, that are in the die set that coordinates with Peaceful Evergreen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some adhesive on the back, and I'm just going to take my multi-purpose liquid glue and I'm going to kind of dab, and by doing so on top of the mat, I just know that I'm not making a mess on top of my glass mat. Silicone sheets have a number of uses. They make a great way to do mirror imaging. So I'm just going to come kind of get enough adhesive through here, hold it down, pick it up, and I'll move my focal point over here. Decide kind of where I want that. I think I kind of want it to come here. So it'll be next to this other tree, and I'm going to put the palm of my hand on the top to make sure it has enough pressure to hold it down. Okay, and then I'm going to take this other, the Pebbled Path silhouette tree, and go with the same process of dabbing some of our multi-purpose liquid glue on the back. I know there's some who choose to take one of our sponge daubers and that's a great option as well. But okay, so I'm going to take this way. We're done with my mat for the moment, and then I'm going to come. I could come on this side or I could come on this side, and I like it kind of overlapped on this end. So I'm going to come lower so that this first tree is kind of hiding in the background. I'm going to give a nice pressure with the palm of my hand again. And then I've got this ready. I'm going to go ahead and put it down. It's going to get adhered flat to my card base. And I have a little more reveal around the edges on this one. So I'm thinking this could be really pretty. If you change up the colors, there's so many different options. I think you could even go with some purples and pinks and have something that's a whole different look. So then I've got a strip of the Mossy Meadow that is a 1/2 inch by a little over 2.5. And what I did is I took the Simply Said stamp set. I want to make sure that I've got it dabbed off with the embossing buddy, which can be found in our Essentials embossing kit. Comes with a tray, comes with a buddy, comes with the tweezers, which you're going to see me use. So then I'm going to ink up using, pull my white paper out of the way, Versamark ink. Stamp it in the center of that cardstock. Nice inking there. Tap it off. I'll clean that. Put my ink away. And then I've got my white embossing powder from the Wow embossing powder, the basic set, just in a tub. I'm going to grab my tweezers. The tweezers self-lock. So you squeeze them and they open, and then if you let go, they lock. So I'm going to come and grab just the end so that they hold on to here. And then I'm going to grab it into here, tap it like so. And then I can heat it with my heat tool, which I've already done. So I'm just going to set that out of the way. As they say, and the land of television, which we aren't in, but in videoing, I have already done one, if you probably saw it sitting here. So this one I've already heat embossed. So then I'm going to take some dimensionals and stick them on the back. And I just need a couple of them. So one over here and one over here. Oops, like so. And then take those backs off. And then tap it. And then I'm going to decide what end I want this on. I think I want this on this other side. It's because of where I placed my trees. And I liked it along the lower edge. So it's like so. And then I need something on the inside. And so what I've opted to do, I'm going to take and put my take that off. Here were the dies. I keep mine on magnetic sheets. But these are the dies that coordinate. And there was extras, so I've got them on extra dies. And I want this grouping of trees. And I'm going to line it up using, I think I can fit it on this block. All I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the greeting open for when I decide to send this card. So I'm going to open up my pad. I'm going to ink. You can ink it toward this stamp, or you can take the stamp to the ink. Either one works. Okay. Then I'm going to stamp it. I think I'm going to put this along this edge. Press straight up. Love how that looks. There's just some variation in the rubber. And then I can attach this to the inside of my card. And then when I'm ready, I can put a greeting in there. Sometimes I like greetings that are specific to my participant. So you can let me know, is that you, or do you prefer to have a pile of cards ready to go so that you can just grab them and have more generic greetings set aside for you? I can see the benefit of both, and I do keep both. Okay, this is going together super, super fast, like so. Fold it over, and there you go. I didn't use any other gems. It's nice and flat, very mailable, and hope you love the colors. I'm going to step out here, and then I will bid you adieu. So thanks again for joining me. If you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel or a follower on my Facebook page, I'd appreciate that. You can also follow along with all the latest specials from Stampin' Up! By subscribing to my mailing list, which you can find in the link to my description in my video and in my blog, justalittleink.com. Again, though, thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful day.